everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jacquie, and for those of you that do not know, welcome back to Emme. Hey, today we are going to be talking about the 20 books that I am most anticipating for 2020. First things first, make sure you subscribe. And before we jump into the video, I kind of want to give a shout out to Book of the Month Club. I recently got The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James, so I am super excited for this, but this is kind of sad because it's my last book of the month because I need to get my finances in order. So I do have to cancel this, unfortunately, but I am excited to get into this. But that's not one of my most anticipated books. That's just a bonus, I guess. Alright, so let's jump right in. I have my list on my phone, and I will be showing the pictures right here. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to be talking about the books that I'm most anticipating in order of when they come out, and this is the first 20 that came to mind when I was making the list, or that I saw and was like, oh my gosh, yes. So let's go. First is January 7th, which has already passed at this point. I have two books for that day. First is Woven in Midnight by Isabel Ibanez. So this is taking inspiration from Bolivian history, and it's about this girl named Zamina who has to marry this man. Atok, and she is the only remaining person in her royal family, so she needs to marry him. It's her duty, it's his duty, but she doesn't want to, so she's trying to get someone from his camp to stop the whole thing so she won't be blamed for it, I guess. And a lot of things ensue from there, I'm assuming, but the cover is stunning, which is what drew me in. The second is The Night Country by Melissa Albert. This also comes out on January 7th, or came out because we're past January 7th. And this is the second book to the Hazelwood, which I do own but have yet to read, but I obviously want to read that one and this one coming out. And I'm excited that the series is continuing. That's it for January 7th. So next is January 14th, The Conference of Birds by Ransom Riggs, which is the fifth, I believe, book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series. And I'm super excited for that. I love this series. I'm on the third or fourth book currently, so I'm excited to keep going. Next is Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. This is also a sequel or a companion novel to Fix Her Up, which I have not read but have wanted to read. That came out in 2019, and I'm looking to read both of them. And the main characters in this one have a little bit of melanin in their skin, so that just drew me in a little bit more. Number 5 it's also coming out on January 14th, and it is The Better Liar by Tannen Jones. And from what I understand, is the sister who had her grandmother or her parents, one of her parents just died, and she has a huge inheritance, but to claim this inheritance, she and her sister have to come together. And I don't know if the sister's missing or if she already actually died, but obviously she can't go with her because she's nowhere around. So she hires somebody, a lookalike, to be her sister, and the person has secrets of her own or something, and chaos ensues. It's a thriller, so I'm excited for that one. Next, January 14th, one is Dark and Deepest Red by Anna Marie McLemore. I love Anna Marie McLemore. I have all of her books so far, so I'm excited for this one to come out. Okay, so this book is about, it's based on like real life history. There was, I think it was called the dancing curse in real life, where something just took over your body and you danced until your feet bled and you couldn't stop, and then you eventually died. And this happened in this book in the summer of 1518, and it's called, it says, a strange sickness sweeps across Strasbourg. Women dance in the streets, some until they fall down dead. And just like in real life and in the book, there's rumors of witchcraft. Um, and it then says 5 centuries later, a pair of red shoes seal to Rosala Olivia's feet, forcing her to dance uncontrollably. So I'm so excited for this one. Next on my list, I have two books that come out January 21st, which is the first one is number 7, Recipe for Perfect Wife by Karma Brown. So it's about this woman who moved into this new house. She goes in the basement and she finds a recipe book from a woman from the 1950s. Am I blurry? Yes, I am. She found a recipe book from a woman in the 1950s, who had a seemingly perfect marriage according to everyone, but in the margins of the recipe book are writings from the woman or things that is making the woman in current day think that she didn't have, there was a dark twist to her marriage. Number 8 is Tweet You by Emma Lloyd, and this book is about two teenagers who run the social media for their family's restaurants who are rivals, and they end up falling in love. I think it's an enemies to lover story from what I understand. Most of what I've heard from this book has been from Chelsea Darling Reads, which I will put a little card for her up here and link her down below, which most of you probably already know her if you know me, because she's a bigger YouTuber than me, a bigger booktuber, but just in case. Next is February 18th of Curse and Kisses by Santa Menon. I really need to learn how to say her name. She is also one of my favorite authors. She wrote When Dimple Met Richie, From Twinkle with Love, and There's Something About Sweetie, all of which I absolutely loved. This one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it is about this girl who goes to a boarding school, and she is trying to get this guy to fall in love with her, mainly to get payback on him because him and his family very much disrespected her little cousin. I don't exactly know how the Beauty and Beast thing ties into that, but those are the two things that I have been told. Next, I have 4 different books that come out March 3rd, and the first one is number 10, You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This is the duo's 3rd book, if I'm not mistaken, and it's about this girl who meets twins, and they pretty much want to trade life with her or something weird like that. I don't know. I don't have too much information on that one. Next one coming out on March 3rd is Only Mostly Devastated. Here in this clip, I'm telling you that I don't know much about this book, but that's not true. This book is a Grease retelling with two queer main characters. Number 12 is Writers and Lovers by Lily King, and this one also comes out March 3rd. This one is about what is this one about? This one is about this girl who's a writer and she's serving tables and she's going into her 30s, and all her friends have kind of settled down and gotten like appropriate jobs and are getting married, but she refuses to give up the fight, and she's gonna become a famous author pretty much, if I'm not mistaken. The number 13 comes out on March 10th, and it is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This book is essentially a book about the Me Too movement told from a different perspective. This girl who went to a boarding school when she was 15 years old and had a romantic relationship with her professor that was in his 40s. Years later, when she's an adult, it comes out that he has had romantic relationships with multiple students throughout his career, and someone who she thought was her first love and her first intimate experience, she has to come to terms with the fact that he was an abuser essentially, and that the relationship they had isn't as romantic and loving as she thought it was. Next, March 19th, The Switch Up by Beth O'Leary comes out. And it's basically about this woman in her 80s who her husband has passed, and she's ready to get back out there, and her granddaughter is having a rough time in the romantic dating scene, so they decide to switch environments. The grandmother is going to live in the luxurious penthouse that the granddaughter lives in. The granddaughter is going to live in the little cottage that the grandmother lives, and I assume they both find love because, yeah. To me, this reminded me of The Holiday, which is one of my favorite movies. I feel like it's that same like premise, just with a little twist, because obviously they're not the same age and they're related. Next, on April 7th, there's 3 books coming out. The first one is number 15, so we're almost done with this list. Number 15 is The Beauty of Your Face by Sahar Mustafa. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing any names on this list, which I'm pretty sure I am because I suck with names. I don't know a lot about this. All I heard is it's gonna be a hard read, but a necessary read. The cover is stunning, so this is definitely another cover buy. Number 16, also coming out on April 7th. It Sounded Better in My Head by Nina Kenwood. This is compared to Jenny Han's To All the Boys I Loved Before, which I love the series. It's basically about this girl who her parents are getting a divorce, her best friend's getting in her first year's relationship, everything is going haywire, and she thinks she found an escape or the answer to a lot of questions in this boy that she meets. That's basically all I know about that. What number we're going to? 17 is Afterlife by Julia Alvarez. I have a book right here by Julia Alvarez that I have not read. I have another one on the way in a new haul that I'm going to be doing probably soon by Julia Alvarez. I am very excited. She is another author that I love, and she did write In the Time of the Butterflies, which I loved, and is about it's about my country, my homeland, the Dominican Republic. This one, it follows the main character, Antonia Vega, and her husband has just passed. Her sister's gone missing. An undocumented family member, I think, shows up on her door pregnant, and she's losing her mind a little bit, and she's kind of has to come to terms with how far you will go for family and what the universe asks of you, I think. Maybe. I could be making that up. Who knows? Number 18 comes out on May 5th, and it is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This one is about two young girls, semi-young teenagers. One lives in the Dominican Republic, one lives in New York. They both have the same father. They've never met. They didn't know each other existed. When the father passes away, they meet and their lives come together, intermingle, intertwine, and they kind of have to deal with the existence of each other. Number 19, on May 26th, the Jane Austen Society by Natalie Jenner comes out, and it is basically about a group of women, all from different walks of life, starting a book club, first of all, and trying to preserve Jane Austen's vision, integrity, I don't even know, the integrity of her work. I think possibly I could be making that up, to be honest, but the description said something like that. And number 20, our last one, comes out on July 7th, and it is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I don't know much about this book, but I did read Lock Every Doorway by Riley Sager last year, and I absolutely adored it, so I'm willing to read anything by him at this point. I will go back and read some of his other stuff, but yeah. That is all. That is it. Those are the 20 books that I am most anticipating for 2020. Thank you so much for watching. That's all. I'm very excited. I was very excited to make this video, especially because of putting the pictures here. I just figured it out and I felt so fancy. That's all. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share this and any other video on my platform that you feel your people will love. And remember to spread peace and positivity all day, every day, and it'll come back to you. And remember to keep reading. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.